Previously on Tomb Raider Chronicles. Well, after this thing blows up, this opening will be open. This opening will be open. Yeah, very, very good wording there, John. And with that, our stories continue. Welcome back everyone to the Tomb Raider Marathon. I am Jonathan Wolf, and ladies and gentlemen, in this video we're going to be tackling the second to last level of Tomb Raider Chronicles. And that is the second level of the VCI chapter, which is Escape with the Iris. And oh boy, this level is quite a challenge. I will say right now that for me, this is the hardest level in the game. I know a lot of people say that the next level is much difficult, however, it's difficult for different reasons, but in terms of not using a med pack, yeah, I can easily say this is the hardest level in the game. All right, so here we are with the, I guess in a new hallway, which looks very, you know, civilized considering we just went through like a laboratory hallway, but whatever. All right, so as we get into this next room, we're gonna get called by Zip. So let's enjoy this little dialogue.
Okay, you've been a bad girl. And before I tell you what your punishment is, I just want to say that there's no point in arguing, because I ain't gonna be listening. Now, take all your metal items, yes, guns is metal, and put them in the tray, now.
So you're telling me to disarm myself in a building crawling with armed guards?
Now, if I was listening, which I ain't, like I told you before, I would counteract this argument by alerting the person asking me this to the fact her guns ain't any use against 10-foot-tall walking tanks anyway. But I ain't listening, so I ain't saying nothing.
I'm doing it. But if you mess this up...
All right, I'm listening again. And trust me, I ain't gonna mess this up, okay?
Do I have a choice?
Nope.
Okay, so yeah, Zip is basically telling us to get rid of our guns. And the reason why is because if we try to go forward into this hallway, we're going to trigger some turrets that are basically going to kill us they're basically going to destroy us. So yeah, they're basically going to spawn a turret over there, and they're going to spawn a turret on the other side. And basically, to get rid of our weapons, we want to just go to this tray and just deliver our weapons. Alright, now the reason why we don't want to go into this hallway with our gun is because this is a metal detector hallway. And as you can see, we can actually see Lara's skeleton, which you can actually play as in the remasters, which is pretty funny. But you may also notice that in these suitcases, we have some bombs. However, in this one, you may notice that we have a small med pack. So let's go ahead and pick this guy up. And yeah, basically, now we have... And yeah, basically, similar to the submarine, we now have to deal without our weapons. And yeah, basically, this is basically your weaponless level. And I gotta say right now, this is probably my favorite weaponless level in the entire series. I said that High Security Compound is my favorite, but I actually forgot that I didn't want to spoil this level. So yeah, basically, we have to basically go through pretty much the entire level without using our HK guns. So yeah, that's actually your punishment, I guess.
I don't like to be the bearer of bad tidings, but the stairs are out unless you bulletproof. You ain't bulletproof, are you?
What about the lifts?
Well, the lifts is going down, and normally, when trying to escape somewhere, ain't it clever to head in the direction of the exit? Like the roof?
Right. That'd be clever, like making me ditch my guns.
Ouch. Yeah, maybe you better start looking for some weapons. Hey, don't sweat, girl. The man will save you.
Hasn't happened yet.
And I'm probably sure it will never happen. Okay, so... Okay, let me check... I gotta check something real quick, so... Okay, so yeah, basically, believe it or not, behind this door is the end of the level. And basically what you have to do is you have to shoot that fire hydrant to blow up that door. How does that work? I have no idea. But you know what? I don't care because video game logic. Now you may notice right there that we got some HK gun. However, Yeah, you don't want to be too close to it, because if we use our headset, which is the equivalent to the binoculars, well, first off, we got this very cool looking visor, but also if we press the action button, you may notice that we can actually turn on in our infrared visor, and you may notice that we got some lasers past that HK ammo. And yeah, that's actually, you want to be careful, because they can kill, because yeah, if you cross those lasers, you'll get incinerated and you're gonna die. However, if you listen, yeah, you can hear the laser sound going like, which is pretty awesome, and also kind of like it basically shows you that, hey, there's something happening over here. Okay, so in this room, to my left, there is a guy. Well, not really, but at the end of that hallway, there's actually a guy. And we can actually run here normally. And basically, in these rooms, we want to inspect these areas. Now, in this drawer, there is nothing. And we also have this shelf, which has a very bad gold skull sprite, which is the same gold skull as the ones from Tomb Raider 4, from the Angkor Wat tutorial. And in that cabinet, we have a bottle of chloroform. And yeah, basically, we have to do the exact same thing we did last time with that big guy in the last level. So as you can see, we got that guy, and we basically have to get rid of him, you know? Okay, so basically, as soon as we get to this point, we want to walk. Now, right over here, we got a wall. And yeah, basically, you can tell it's a wall because it's not high definition and it doesn't open all fancy, you know? Alright. And in this room, I want to say there's a med pack here, but I completely forgot. No, we do have a cloth, so that's awesome. And I'm pretty sure that's the only thing here. Yeah, we have this little office area with a very cool look to the outside, even though it looks pretty weird. But yeah, basically, once you get the two items, what we want to do is we want to sneak up on this guy. And then we want to use the bottle of chloroform with the cloth. So yeah, basically you want to stand on almost the same... So yeah, you basically want to stand on the same tile as him. Around here-ish. And then just use the items. So let's go ahead and get the cloth. Bottle of chloroform. And we can just use it. Okay, so after you break his neck, we now want to go into this room. And in this room, if we inspect this cabinet or this drawer, I think this is the one that has the med pack. Yes, it has a small med pack. Alright. Alright, now in this hallway, we have these doors or these offices that are going to open. However, in the first two offices, there's nothing. So what we want to do is we want to go to the third one, and then we want to inspect this drawer. And in this drawer, we're going to get a key card. Now you may be thinking, okay, so what's the point of this key card? Now, if we go back and we go all the way to the end right over here, this door right here is the entrance to the restroom. However, you may notice that we need that is locked behind a number pad code. Now, if we take a look at that card that we got the restroom access card. However, you may notice that there are numbers in that card. So we got 8526. And these numbers, you can actually input them to get the... Oops. I pressed 3 instead of 6. Okay, so yeah, let's put the numbers correctly. And yeah, you can actually open the restroom. Now, I guess I should mention this real quick, but the code is the same every single time. So if you know the code, you can actually ignore fighting that guy. And yeah, you can just go into the restroom, no problem. Okay, so in this restroom, what we want to do is we want to go into the women's restroom, and we want to go into the toilet in the middle. Because in this one, we have a large med pack. Now, just to be safe, And just to examine it, yeah, there's nothing in this one. And I'm almost positive there's nothing on this one. Yeah, there's nothing. Also, kind of weird having a key card to access the bathroom. That is not that is not a great idea, if you ask me. Okay, so and here we got the men's restroom, and yeah, on this one we got nothing. On the middle one we got nothing. However, on the toilet on the right, you may notice that we have a opening with a crack, or we have this ceiling with a crack in the wall. And basically, what you can do is you can jump and grab the crack to open a ventilation system, or to open a crate to get access to the ventilation system. All right, so once we get over here, what we want to do is, yeah, now we gotta go down. And right over here, you may think that you have to drop down all the way to the bottom. However, you can actually let go and hold the action button to grab a small ledge to drop down and minimize your fall damage, which is awesome. Okay, so right over here, I highly recommend you save your game, because now we have a very difficult section to go through. Because now we are in the in an elevator shaft. And basically what we have to do is we have to get down and try to land on a platform. And the reason we want to be careful is because if we fail this, we're going to fall off and die. So basically we want to just get to the bottom. And once we get to the bottom-ish, yeah, when we get to the bottom, we basically want to go over here and then just do a backflip. And overshoot and kill ourselves. And ladies and gentlemen, we suffered our very first death in Tomb Raider 5 in the second to last level of the game. That is incredible. Alright, so we're going to reload the game and we're going to try again. Yeah, that was a huge mistake going down. Alright. Let's try this again. Yeah, I forgot a very crucial step that we have to do, and that's the fact that we have to jump and turn around and grab a pole, which for some reason it can be very difficult to do, because what you have to do is you have to stay on the middle of the tile, and then what you want to do when you get on the middle of the tile, you want to just jump, turn, and grab the pole. And yeah, as you can see, you will barely grab it. Alright, but then what you want to do is you want to ride the pole to the end, because as you can see over here, we have an opening with the gold rose. And basically what you want to do is you want to just jump and just tap the action button so you can slide into this opening and claim the first secret of the level. Now, I will say that the secrets in these levels are honestly really easy to get. Although, yeah, trying to do this level without using a med pack can be very difficult to do. Also, my nose is itching. It's not a playthrough of mine. It's not a recording session of mine if my nose doesn't itch. But yeah, basically what we want to do is we want to climb this chain all the way to the top until we see this gray that is behind me. And once we get over here, we want to do a backflip. And right here, we gotta grab another pole right here. So what you want to do is you want to do a running jump and just grab in the air, and then let go and just hold action just in case you want to slide in. Although I'm pretty sure Lara will have her hands in the air automatically, so it's not that big of a problem. All right, and then we want to do a hop to get on top of the elevator. And on top of the elevator, on this one right here, we have... Wait, where is it? Oh my god, I can barely see it. But yeah, right over here, we got some HK ammo. And then what you want to do is we want to open this hatch to get access to this elevator. So yeah, let's go ahead and press this button. And basically, what's going to happen is we're going to open this door. Now, you want to walk in this part because to my right, there's a guy over there. Now, I don't know if it's here, but I know it isn't. Okay, never mind. But yeah, basically, believe it or not, we're actually on the other side of those lasers where we got the HK ammo. So yeah, down there in the distance is actually the end of the level. So yeah, we basically went full circle. So yeah, we did all that just to get on an elevator. That is pretty funny. And yeah, basically we want to press this button. And once we get into this elevator, we can actually go in here. Now, I highly recommend you save your game, because this next part can be very difficult to perform. Because as soon as you press this button, you're going to operate this elevator into a trap where there's going to be two guys with guns and a big guy and a big guy. And basically, I'm just gonna let this cut. I'm just gonna let this thing play.
Close the doors. Close the doors quickly. Close the doors. Lara! Lara! You broke? You ain't dead, is you? Come on, girl, answer me.
Gonna be sore in the morning.
I knew you was too tough for a little fall like that.
I'm on the ground floor, aren't I?
Bing, ground floor. Depart here for gun-toting refrigerator men and long walk back upstairs. Yeah, sorry, girl, you got it. But hell, you in one piece, ain't you?
Never felt better.
Oh, come on, Laura. You'll be fine. So yeah, basically in that area, what you want to do is as soon as you see that angle with Laura, what I like to do is I like to turn 90 degrees and then go immediately for the button. And yeah, basically you want to press the button, and as soon as you press the button the first time, you want to go back and press it again to stop the elevator from crashing down and killing you. Now, I guess I should mention this real quick, but in that hallway where those three guys were, at the very end of the hallway, there are 2 large med packs. However, because this is a no med pack run, I missed them. I skipped them on purpose because, yeah, trying to get those items while avoiding 3 enemies, 2 enemies with hit scan and one enemy that can deal half my health. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. Yeah, that was never gonna happen. Also, I want to give praise to the PlayStation version because in the PC version, when you open the door with those 3 guys, Zip did not tell you to close the door, which means that yeah, the PC version has some incomplete dialogue, which is yeah, comes to show that Team PlayStation, baby. Okay, so yeah, as you heard by Zib, we are now on the ground floor. So now we have to make it back to the 13th floor and continue on with our escape. And yeah, basically what you want to do is when you get to this point, you want to take a hop back and then you want to do a standing jump to grab this pole. And then you want to hold action again to get up on this ladder. Now, right over here, we got a ladder, and basically, what you want to do is you want to climb it all the way to the top until the ladder changes textures. We'll see Laura bugging off, which is awesome. And yeah, another thing I want to mention is that during that cutscene, when you press the elevator the first time when you spawn those guys, you will take damage after pressing the button. So yeah, even if by some miracle you take no damage, you actually will take damage. Okay, but once you get to this point where we see those vents to my left, you want to do a backflip. Because by doing a backflip, you will land safely on this ledge. And then what we want to do is we want to run and jump to this other pole. Also, why is the game stuttering so much? Oh my god, what is going on? I'm recording this on the same day as the Ireland section. So yeah, maybe it's the game telling me, "Hey, stop recording or you're going to have all this stuttering." But we're halfway through the level, so we're going to just keep going. Okay, so down here we have a very difficult section, another difficult section. So I recommend you save your game, because what's going to happen is we're going to slide off, and basically what you want to do is you want to jump and grab a pole the moment the slide changes textures. So basically we're going to slide off, and you may notice right there to the left there is the slide turns into a vent, and basically when you hit this point right here, you want to jump and grab this pole. Now we want to be careful because, as you can see, we got some fire, and basically we want to time ourselves so that we don't get burned alive. So yeah, we want to time ourselves, and yeah, as you can see, we have even more fire over there. And yeah, basically we want to wait for the fire to go away, and then we'll just let go of action, and then just hop back and then turn to the right as you go backwards to avoid the fire. Alright, so now we're gonna go up here, and right here we got a tightrope, and yeah, we got a tightrope back in the back in business. So yeah, we haven't seen these tightropes since, believe it or not, the second level of the game. That is crazy. And yeah, basically, if you forgot the controls, hold action to get on the rope, and just press forward. And if Lara tilts to one side, you want to press the opposite direction. And like I mentioned, once you get on the rope, you can actually let go of action, and Lara will just stay like this. Alright, and there we go. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to the ground floor again. And now we have what is by far the hardest section in the level. And yes, I am going to save my game again. And I'm just going to override it. But basically, what's going to happen is, as soon as we get into this point, we're going to have a guy that's going to start patrolling the hallway that is after this crawl space. And basically, what I'm going to do is I don't know if you saw me, but basically what I'm going to do is, as soon as he passes by me, I'm going to just run ahead. Actually, yeah, I'm just going to reload. Yeah, that was a mistake, crawling into the thing. But yeah, basically what I'm going to do is, as soon as he passes by the crawl space, I'm going to go out, and then I'm going to make a beeline to the right side. Because what we have to do now is we have to make sure that guy shoots a glass. So yeah, basically we're going to wait for him. I'm going to wait a couple seconds. And then I'm just going to go. So basically, I'm just going to gun it. And then I'm going to have this guy shoot the glass, because over here we can claim the second secret. And once you get past this point, that guy's not going to chase you, so we're safe. But now we go into this next section, and this next section can be very difficult, because as you go through this room, which is actually, I guess, the main hall of the VCI building, which is a very weird entrance, but basically what's going to happen is, as soon as you get into specific points, I'll show you right here. Yeah, as you can see, we're going to be targeted by a sniper. And this sniper can be very difficult to avoid. But yeah, basically a very easy way to avoid him, if you don't want to deal with him, you can actually go over here and just do a running jump to this point right here. And then what you want to do is, while looking at the door, you want to climb the ladder on the left. And then what you want to do is you want to shimmy to the right, because this area is going to be a safe area. And then what you want to do is you want to go to the other side. So what you want to do is you want to just run across, and you'll be fine. Because yeah, as long as you keep moving, the sniper will not get you. And right over here we got a button. And this button is going to do two things. The first thing it's going to do is it's going to turn off lasers that are down there, but it's also going to open some double doors. Now, before we move on, now we want to play a game of chicken, because now what we want to do is we want to have the sniper shoot that fire hydrant. In fact, I'm going to save my game, because this next part can be very difficult. And yeah, I'm just going to override the same thing. Because by shooting that fire hydrant, we're going to create an opening that is going to give us access to the last secret. And wow, first try. That was very lucky. Yeah, basically, we're just going to go over here. And as you can see, we can just... Oh, no. I almost fell off. Yeah, I'm just going to make a run for it. Ooh, that was close. And yeah, basically, right over here, we can claim the third and final secret of the level. So as you can see, we got secrets 3 out of 3. And if we go back to the Timex, we can see that we got 33 out of 36. Which means that we now have 3 more secrets, and we will get them, and we will have 100% completion in Tomb Raider 5. Which is awesome. Alright, now we gotta go back. And you can go down the way from that button down there into that table. However, by doing so, you will be shot by the sniper more often, at least from experience. Yeah, basically, once we get to this point, we just want to jump over here, and once we cross to this point, we're gonna be safe from the sniper. Okay, now here we come into what is by far the hardest section of the level, and basically, this section is the make or break part if you want to beat this level without using a med pack. Now, unfortunately, I cannot show you my health because I don't have a weapon. But I want to say I'm above 25% health. But basically what's going to happen is as soon as you get into this next room, you're going to spawn a guy. You're going to spawn a guy from that opening over there. And basically what you want to do, similar to the second secret, you want him to shoot that glass. Because on the floor, I'm just going to go for it and just show you. But down here on the lower floor, we have some lasers. And by going into the water, we're going to disable the lasers. However, as soon as he shoots the glass... Oh, I screwed up. Yeah, we want to press this button, which is going to open these double doors. And then we're going to go into the thing. And I'm going to sprint ahead just to do some easy way of going through the level.
Hold there a minute. I'm checking for something.
Zip, they're coming through the door with welding torches.
Yeah, just... Gotcha. Top corners of the room. Motion trackers. Fast movement triggers them. So take it easy. Well, what are you waiting for?
Okay, so yeah, basically the way that room works is as soon as he shoots the glass, you want to face the button before he shoots you, and then you want to press the button, which is going to open some doors to the right. Now, what it's also going to do is going to open some doors behind you when you press the lever, and they're going to spawn some big guys. Now, the door behind me, there's also a large med pack that I also skipped because, again, this is a no med pack run. And yeah, if I had decided to go down there, I would have died. And yeah, considering that I'm basically close to death, that's not good. So yeah, basically after that cutscene, they will tell you that you want to take it slow because this room is rigged with motion sensors. And basically, if you go fast, you're going to spawn some turrets that are going to kill you. And basically, what you want to do is you want to get to the other side of the room and you want to press the buttons that are to the left and to the right. Now, one thing you can do to give yourself a head start is you want to sprint into the room or just do a running jump. But yeah, basically we want to... Oh, come on now. But yeah, basically we want to press the things. And once you get over here, we can actually just run normally. And we'll be fine. And once we get to this room, these guys are gonna release the door. Yeah, as you can see. However, these guys are not going to chase you into this area, so you're perfectly safe from these guys. Okay, so you may notice right here that we got these containers, or these briefcases. Well, not briefcases, but these containers. And similar to the beginning of the level, yeah, some of these containers have explosives. However, I cannot tell which ones have explosives. So how do we actually tell which cases are not going to blow us up? Well, right over here we got a crack in the wall. And basically, we want to open this crate. And over here to the right, we have an opening. And by going through this opening, we're going to be on the other side of the X-ray visor, essentially. And basically over here on the other side, there's a button which is going to turn on the X-ray scope. And yeah, as you can see, pretty much every single case has a bomb except for that one that has the that has a code. Now the good thing is that you don't have to memorize which case has the item, because as soon as you go down here, we're gonna get a different camera angle. Now again, if you already know what case has the item, you can actually go pick it up before without turning on the machine or the X-ray scope. But yeah, once we get that out of the way, the disc goes into this slot right here, the teleporter disc. And by having the teleporter disc, we can use the iris in this receptacle, and by doing so, we're gonna get teleported all the way back to the 13th floor. So yeah, very interesting stuff. I mean, we got Von Croy testing some teleportation devices. That's pretty awesome. And yeah, I gotta say, this area looks very scary with the red and all that stuff. Now, thankfully, we still have the iris, so we didn't just waste it just to get back to the to the top. I mean, the level's called Escape with the Iris, after all. And right over here, we have the final part of the level. Now, before we get into this cutscene, I want to angle Lara to a perfect position. Because...
Now, you want to get yourself in a position where you can see the keypad. Because once every 3 or 4 cycles, Mr. Mobile Refrigerator there is going to type in the code.
You don't say.
You got it, baby. I is just full of vital information.
You're full of something.
Without me, lady, you'd be just some has-been hanging by your cuticles over a spike pit in some armpit backwater country.
Sounds preferable.
Okay, so yeah, basically I decided to go for a different angle. I decided to go for a curve because basically we want to make sure that we see the code that guy inputted, so that we can actually replicate it. In this console. Now you may be wondering why my health is actually higher, and that is because I was recording this part and the game crashed. So yay for that. Thank you, RetroArch. You are beautiful. Although to be fair, RetroArch hasn't failed me, unlike DuckStation, because oh my god, DuckStation crashes like every once in a while. That's so annoying, especially when I play games like Resi. But yeah, basically what you want to do is we want to walk to this point, and as you can see, we got this guy. However, he's going to go to the left. But yeah, basically what you want to do is once you get the code, we want to input it, and the code is 1672. And once you get the code, yeah, we just want to go over here. And once you cross this plane, we can actually move normally. Now, another thing you can also do is you can actually stay behind him and follow him as he inputs the code, which is pretty funny. Okay, so he's inputting the code, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay over here because yeah, I thought there was actually an item here, but yeah, now we gotta be quick. Now we gotta be stealthy. And yeah, basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for him to go back, although I don't see him. That's a problem. But yeah, basically the way this guy works is he's gonna go to this room, or he's gonna input the code, come to this room, go back, and then just repeat the cycle. Also, I did not save my game, so yeah, if he sees me, then I'm screwed. Okay, he went through the door. Okay. Alright, now in this area, we have, if I can find it. Oh wait, it's over here, isn't it? Oh no, here's the med pack, okay. Yeah, right over here we got a large med pack. But in this room, where is it? Where's the button? Wait, where's the button? I don't see the button. Okay. Hang on. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna wait because... Yeah, there's actually a button here, but I cannot see it. Oh my god, why is this game so dark? There's nothing here. There's no legs in this room. Yeah, he's gonna stay there. And he's gonna go back. Okay, seriously, where the hell is this button? Oh, there it is. I just saw it. Okay. Okay, so yeah, right here we got this button. And this button, what it's going to do is going to turn off the X-ray machine in that hallway. And if you remember, that hallway is actually where back at the beginning of the level. So yeah, we basically went in a huge circle just so we can get through the hallway with our guns. So that is awesome. And yeah, as you can see, the gate will open for us. And we're back here where we can go ahead and reclaim our HK gun. So now that we got our bad boy, we're gonna... Yeah, sure, Lara. Yeah, sure, Lara. Put your gun away. Because, yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, like I was saying, once you get your weapon back, yeah, now we can actually go freely through this hallway. Yeah, that was very weird. Yeah, that was very weird. The fact that she pulled her gun out. We got that cutscene again. And yeah, basically, once we get over here, we want to shoot this fire hydrant. And there we go. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with this level. Man, I can't believe I died by a stupid jump on a ladder. God, I cannot believe it. I just died like that. Oh well, I had to die eventually. I mean, hell, if I did this game without dying, that would have been amazing. But you know what? I'll take a stupid death. But yeah, with that said, let's cross the door and end this level.
Permission to enter, sir. I have important news on the situation regarding the intruder.
And?
It seems she's managed to evade my men and remove the iris, sir.
Incompetence? Where is this intruder now? Or have you mislaid her once more?
Last visual contact in the lobby, sir.
Last visual contact, so you have lost her again. Find her! Find her now! All exits are blocked. There is no need for these histrionics. Do we have identification yet?
Only visual, sir.
No need. I know who the intruder is. Lara Croft. Ah, your past once more comes back to haunt you then.
Also, yeah, that cutscene, for some reason, it ends before that other guy says Werner. Although, and fun fact, that guy is actually called Werner Sr. So, yeah, I guess it's like Werner's dad or something. But, yeah, with that said, that is it for this level. And that is it for this episode of the Tomb Raider Marathon. Next time we meet, we're going to be moving on to the final level of Tomb Raider Chronicles and the final level of the PlayStation 1 era of Tomb Raider, as we're moving on to what is by far the most infamous level in all of Tomb Raider, mainly because of how buggy it is on the PC version. And that is Red Alert. But until then, this is Jonathan Wolf, and I will see you all in the next video. Take it easy, everyone. God, I can't believe I died on a stupid jump. Oh my god. I mean, then again, that's basically the exact same way how I expected to die. Good lord.